Maybe, yeah, a handful.
We tend to get more visitors, attendees, when we are at restaurants and we give them lots more. Anyway, thanks. I'll go ahead and get started because I don't want to let you go early. So welcome. Thank you all for coming. Coronado Neighborhood Association meeting for March. And we're happy to have you. Please take snacks because they're there and they're fresh and delicious. So welcome. We are trying and improve what we're calling improvements to the CNA meeting structure. We used to start at 7 o'clock and go till about 8. We're trying a little earlier start time at 6:30, but having some social time before and after. But we've also only done that here in this space, so that might be affecting the social aspect versus a bar, right? So that's hopefully having less recaps, the looping slides of updates before and after the meeting. I realize that some of that stuff I probably should still cover anyway. So, you should be receiving more emails from us. So we want to be able to recap these meetings for those who can't make it. Hello, welcome. Please have snacks. We have drinks in the cooler as well.
No, it's all you.
All you. And then just really focusing on our guests and community discussion when we do have things that come up, problems that we want to solve together. So any feedback you have is great, and we might change it if we feel like it's maybe not working so well. We do want to thank our hosts here at Trellis for hosting us today. They provide homeownership counseling, financial access, neighborhood development. They're a really great partner for the CNA. They have great, meeting space for us. And they're doing just great things in our community. So I did want to cover some grant funding stuff. So Block Watch grant, this is one that we are awarded every summer, and we get kind of the whole year to use it with very specific, like how are you going to use this? We have a budget. We've primarily pretty much only used it thus far this year for our Dispatch magazine quarterly printing and mailings. But we are now able, now that home tour is behind us, we can actually move. We have a neighbor who's going to work with us to be building bulletin boards that we're going to place throughout the neighborhood. So we have a few that just need refurbishing, and then quite a few new ones that we want to put in. So keep an eye out for those. Yes, sir.
Are we allowed to film?
Sure. We're recording it too, if that's helpful. It's on YouTube.
Oh,
Okay.
just for me.
That's fine. Thank you for asking.
For my own editing.
All right. So that's one of the things that you should be able to expect from the Block Watch money still, but we'll work on more of a breakdown so you can see other things that we budgeted for and that we still have to spend. The Community Arts Grant through the City of Phoenix Office of Arts and Culture. The 2026 grant award funding is actually funding the Loteria that's coming up in a month and a half or so. And we actually just submitted the application to fund the 2027 Loteria. I did that yesterday. So we are hoping to continue to sustain that event year after year. That's one of the ways that we pay for that. Plus we also have community sponsors, and we already have our first sponsorship for this year's event. And then another one that's come to our attention, the District 4 office has $25,000 total in budget funds available with mini grants up to $5,000 for neighborhood improvement. So we're working on ideas for this. We've had a couple of ideas come up within the board so far, but they suggest community activation events, neighborhood or street improvements, public art projects, or other creative community enriching ideas. So if you have ideas that you would like to see us actually apply for, please come to us and let us know. We're interested in seeing what our community would really like to do with that kind of money. So we are always actively applying for grants.
Questions?
Yeah, sure.
We're technically in District 8, am I correct?
South of McDowell.
Yeah,
Yes.
so right now we're in District 8.
Correct.
So does District 8 have a similar neighborhood improvement grant?
You know what? I don't really hear from District 8, and that's a good point that I should be reaching out to them and getting on their newsletter.
Yeah.
District 4 is pretty active with us and engaged, so
Okay.
I can talk with Keisha's office about that. I don't know if they received something similar. I would hope so.
She intimated to me that there was funds available, so I'm wondering, that's why I asked that question. The secondary,
Oh, yeah, Brenda, do you wanna?
They do have one. They
Oh.
have something very similar.
Oh, great.
It's called energizing.
Oh, great,
Oh,
okay.
nice.
And they can help make that connection.
That would be
with the
awesome.
mayor's office.
okay, that would be great. I live right around the corner, which is why I ask. Can I ask, and then I think also when we talk about neighborhood and or street improvements, could you give me some ideas as to like what I would be anticipating I could use those funds for? I mean, just to get a sense of that.
Yeah, Laura, do you wanna talk about a couple ideas that?
So some of the ideas that we've been talking with the Miracle Mile Merchants Association, and so I think since the McDowell revitalization project didn't go through, we've been talking
Sure.
about things that we could potentially do for street improvements along McDowell in front of those businesses. So that's one thing that we've been talking about, is like doing like tree plantings or something like that along there.
Okay.
And then also, we had talked about maybe doing like location banners or something like that along street poles. But again, we're gonna look into more of like what we can actually apply and get. But I'll look at the email that I got from our NSD specialist to see if they've got any like more specifics.
Okay. Then a follow-up to that follow-up is also, we had talked about these other like subgroups that you and I had emailed a couple times about. What is the process? How do we start that
So,
now?
Yeah, so I wanna connect with you on that. Prior to when I did this year, I would say we should start on that this summer for, and it would be for, unfortunately, the summer if we were awarded money for that area, it would be summer of 2027 when that would, when the funds would actually start being available.
That's fine.
Because this past year, they're always due like early December, and that's what I was trying to coordinate between like,
Yeah.
yourself and,
Figuring out
and
the-
then like Scotty and whoever on the east side, and really trying to figure out who we could identify in each kind of quadrant of the neighborhood. And it just unfortunately wasn't coming together quite fast enough. like,
Okay.
Yeah.
So do those groups already exist? I guess is my question.
So they do have, they're not necessarily separate groups. Well, they are in the sense that I've been working with Frank at our neighborhood services department to have them as defined block watch areas.
Right.
So I believe he does that, I believe he has that updated on the website based on communications a couple months ago. I haven't double checked the website to see if that's up there, but I'll check in when I can check in with him.
Okay, I mean, I know that we had talked about that, me doing that. The only reason I remember, I read the grant when it all came out, and it said that those groups need to be in existence a minimum of 6 months in advance to be accountable or to be able to apply for the full 15,000.
So you should,
Yeah.
if everything's set up correctly, which we can double check, you should
Okay.
already be set for that. But
Okay.
we're also gonna get with you a lot sooner. Like I said, this summer is actually a really great time for us to start doing that. When
Okay.
our efforts of other neighborhood things are less, so we can meet and strategize over what we can do. Because then we can even talk like between representatives of all 4 quadrants, I suppose, and like see if there's coordination involved or just in general helping build ideas between each other to benefit each quadrant, so.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Any other questions about grants? Okay, this is still about 2 months, well, pretty much almost exactly 2 months away. Our CNA elections are coming up soon, so we have 2 months left of our current term. But I just wanna make sure that people are knowing that this is, an option that anybody can run for the board, or I should say any CNA member can run for the board. The most important date to consider, and the reason that I bring it here now, is because April 11th, if you intend to run for a position, you must have an active CNA membership by that date. That's per our bylaws. So that's just the main thing to keep. Hi, how are you doing? So that's the main thing to keep in mind. Our May 7th meeting would be when we ask candidates to come and tell us about themselves, but we'll ask for some material ahead of time, like a headshot and a short bio, kind of what they're interested in doing with the neighborhood. And so we'll have some other announcements via social and email and everything around that. President, the only caveat is that you have to already be on the board or have been on the board at some point. So if you're done for my job, let us know, and we can just verify that you've been part of the board before. We have vice president, treasurer, secretary, and 5 different director positions. Hey, thanks, Maureen. Hey, Joey.
Hi.
Come on in. So if you are interested in running for a spot, I think we'll have a few people who are running again, hopefully many of us. But I just haven't checked in with anybody yet, but that also doesn't mean that, there aren't spots available necessarily, like an election is meant to foster hopefully a lot of interest. So just something of note. Dispatch, because the deadlines kind of really work right around home tour, and that's a pretty busy time for us. We're extending this, so please send content to us, info@thecoronadoneighborhood.com by Friday, March 13th, and we'll work to try to get that out maybe late March, early April. Our quarterly timelines have to be pretty flexible with this just because it is pretty much volunteer-led. But we do, if you have any ideas for articles or you'd like to submit an article, I know we have at least one person's already submitted one so far, and then the board tends to write a few. And then Joey also does a lot, and often puts them together, which is just amazing. It's an incredible amount of work, so always thankful for that. But you can read our latest issue that came out early January at this QR code. I don't have any copies on tonight, but that's our quarterly magazine. Okay, and this one is kind of hard to see, I'm realizing on this screen, but we just finished our home tour, our annual home tour on Sunday, February 22nd. It's a huge success. It was a beautiful day outside. We had 9 houses and the Sikh temple, the Guru Nanak Dwara on, which you can see here. They had a very successful day. A lot of the houses had so much fun. They got to meet so many great people. I got to, I think, 7 of the houses that day. One of them was even serving some beverages, which was kind of fun, and they had a musician in the backyard playing some acoustic music, and that was great. It's just really fun to be able to see and peek behind the doors of the houses that you're walking by or driving by every single day, and it's just always a lot that you don't always expect, which is very cool. So if you have any feedback on home tour for us, some things that, we're already actually starting to plan next year's because there's some stuff that we can put into motion a lot sooner. But if you have ideas, some things that, we've heard feedback about before is transportation, like other neighborhoods have transportation, and that's really just kind of a budget thing for us. But also our neighborhood is pretty easy to get around if you have a car or a bike that day, whereas other neighborhoods it ends up being quite a traffic nightmare. Yeah.
What do people do for transportation elsewhere?
So historically, they've done trolleys. They'll have
Trolley.
golf carts.
Trolley's
but
sick.
yeah, they have golf cart rentals where volunteers will offer to be essentially golf cart shuttle drivers. We briefly looked into pedicabs, but I don't think we were really sold on that. Yeah. So that's really what, and then we've had bike corrals at the houses in previous years, but we didn't really, unless people brought ways to lock them up to it, we didn't, have a way to, I don't want someone to stand there and just monitor people's bikes at 9 different houses all day.
And we had the scooter option, but no one really tried that. And I don't know, is it expensive to have 4 people ride this same scooter track or route? You know what I mean? Because we have those now, right? There's scooters at
There are
Sunshine and a few other
scooters,
places.
Yeah.
But I didn't see them engaged. I haven't seen them engaged much yet.
Yeah, that's true. The Phoenix Micromobility Program, we could also talk with them about how to better provide scooters and even bicycles and even helmets that day. I know they've talked about that before. So we can start engaging with them to plan ahead of time, something like that. Yeah. So any other suggestions? We had our porch concert band all day at the street fair. We had our MC, Captain Coronado. We had the kids carnival. It doesn't look like Jens is here yet, but he did ask me to play a video of the kids carnival. No, that didn't work. That did not work.
Was it successful? Or
Yeah.
do you guys count all the money and everything? Is it I don't know, is everyone supposed to make money? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Not to be all blunt about it, but isn't that a big part of it?
I know the straight revenue numbers, not all of the expenses So, I mean, if we're talking straight sales revenue, we made $35,700. So, sounds like a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to put these on.
Yeah.
Just like, was it successful? Yeah, for sure. It's about $10,000 less than we made last year, but that doesn't mean that we made less money than last year, because we paid the houses out $750 a piece at 9 houses last year. This year, we're reimbursing up to $300 for home renovations and things like that. So that was
We don't have the beer garden.
No beer garden.
the beer garden probably didn't cost.
Nobody made money though, right?
It made money because we also did get some.
Donations.
Beer.
what's that?
The beer's donated, right? Is that right?
Yeah,
That one?
yeah.
Like
beer's
50,
donated.
$100, I feel like.
So anyway, that's all to say, successful.
Yeah, no, I totally think it was for sure, but I was just curious financially or whatever. And then is there like an average normal for it, or is it like our all numbers go down?
Last year, I think was probably the highest revenue that we've seen in several years, but that was also coming off of,
Pretty good, it's very
event.
distracting.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think I realized they were filming.
Last year, we also had done some ads, placed some ads, and then we had also been on, free TV.
Yeah,
So that probably helped our numbers, and then,
yeah, I ran a full meta campaign last year that I didn't run this year.
Right.
So, you know,
I know.
Still a success.
Yeah, no, I thought it was fun too. I went and drove around, tried to drive people to different places.
good.
I wish there was a way that we could like rally all the carts, like if there was like
A couple people
golf
mentioned
cart
that.
gang that was like, let's move everybody everywhere.
I had a couple of people be like, I could drive people around in my golf cart. That'd be fun to do next year.
Yeah.
Like a volunteer slot for the golf cart owners.
we would probably rent the golf carts and not, I don't know if we would want people
Well,
to
we
use
can
them,
discuss
but yeah.
liability insurance for something like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
we would, yeah.
And just get like a bunch of Joeys, like the multi-seater ones.
Yeah, but there's
Be
other
off-
ones like
off
that.
the
There was a
boat.
place too, I think on Van Buren and 16th Street that rents them. I don't think it's cheap or whatever, but I don't know.
That could be fun.
But I feel like there's a decent amount of multi-seaters.
Yeah, we got some estimates. I think it came down to like needing to then have those volunteer positions and
Right.
insure
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yes. I think
So,
insurance was the biggest.
Yeah.
part. And then even with volunteers, we don't fill our entire roster of what we're asking for.
Right?
So if you end up with gaps of like, well, we only have, transportation from 10 to 12 and, okay.
it's now just your algorithm. It's a little.
I didn't mean to like talk over it all, you know.
No, I think it was.
Um,
Oh, yeah.
I just didn't want to show that anymore.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
That's not what this is about. Anyway, so yeah, we meet right now quarterly with the other neighborhoods who run home tours, and we talk about ideas and challenges and whatnot. And so we share, contact info of vendors that we need and whatnot. So we're pretty plugged in that way. It's just a matter of having the people power to let it all happen. And yeah.
I do think transportation is a major topic for the next meeting. I think that's something that we all kind of decided we need to
Yeah.
figure out how to
How
do.
does Willow make millions?
I don't know. We haven't talked about it.
Yeah, I don't think we've shared our books with each other like that.
But you said that they like, a lot of people want to use their houses and share their houses and open them up, right?
Yeah, and that would actually be the other thing. So between transportation and home recruitment, so this past year, we really tried to recruit both east of 16th Street and south of McDowell. That also would have posed some interesting transportation,
Challenges.
yeah. And also, we're usually pretty down to the wire with recruiting houses, and so trying to determine the transportation routes and whatnot ends up being at the last minute. So if anybody has connections of people who might want to put their homes on tour, like, let's get them early.
Yeah.
So that would be super helpful, because we really can't have the home tour without houses. We can have the street fair without houses.
And then how many volunteers do you feel you were short?
That's a good question. Carissa's on vacation, but she was kind of more in charge of that. I would say we were probably short 15 to 20. volunteers based on what we had hoped for. And we are good at recruiting volunteers for the earliest shift at 6 a.m. You would think that would be the most successful one, but people really like being able to just like work and have the rest of their day to do stuff or to enjoy the home tour with everybody else. And then towards the end of the day, I would say our breakdown crew, like breakdown has become super easy now. So luckily we don't need as many people, I think, at the end of the day as what we have had in previous years. And then interestingly enough, it's been hard to recruit volunteers to be kind of docents at the houses, which I don't know, I would think that would be a really fun thing to do, is like hang out in someone's house for a couple hours and greet people and say interesting things about the space. So just some interesting notes.
We need more people working off community service hours.
Great.
And then the other one was actually, we have 3 potential shifts for photographers. I know Mike took the first shift, and then I had my husband Nick take the last 2. So that it worked out though, and he's still editing the photos. And I need to check in with Mike too. But these are the ones that were on the slide that I showed before, were some of Mike's photos that he had posted on the TMB.
What, in the video or the slide?
No, on the
slide?
slide
Yeah.
that I had, yeah.
I know.
He had done some really, really great black and white photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, any other comments about home tour and anybody?
Not home tour,
Oh,
but,
okay.
the Oak Street Alley.
Sure.
Where are the posters at? I mean, I've seen a few on Oak Street, but where can I get you?
I got you. I didn't bring them, but I got them. I brought flyers too. Is this my segue?
Not quite.
Okay.
This
Well,
one's more
I have
yeah.
a flyer, but I do
It's a
have a
little
few
bit of,
posters.
it's teeing you
Oh,
up
yeah.
to,
Yeah, this is so sweet. I see that 8 to 10 right there. That's great.
yeah.
It's
Can
the
I go to
next
your house
slide,
after?
actually.
Sure, yeah. I have it on the
Oh,
porch.
yeah. Oh,
right?
This is
sure.
the next slide.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joey, you should come too.
I'm just trying to get
So
these.
we do a community cleanup every month. We've been pretty consistent. We even did them during the summer, just very early. But last year we did an Oak Street Alley cleanup right before Oak Street Alley Mural Fest to get it like nice and pristine for the artists to do their work, and then a bunch of people to come into the neighborhood. So we're doing it again this year, 8 to 10. Yeah, we'll have like buckets and pickers and gloves and stuff like that. Obviously, bring a hat or some sunscreen. Bring your own gloves and pickers if you got them. And yeah, come join us, and then it'll be Mural Fest.
Yeah,
after
hey,
that.
thank you so much for that too. That's such a helpful thing. Like, it gets kind of messy over there in the alley, you know? So many weeds now too.
Yeah.
I feel like I do a bike ride a lot at night, and there's weeds that are almost as tall as me in some alleys. Like, I don't know what I mean, I guess it's just nature and all
I'm
that
gonna stand
stuff.
over here and then the live stream will.
Oh, sure.
Now I'm live.
Yes, you're live.
Just be glad you're not any taller than you are.
Yeah, right. No, but yeah, there's so many weeds. I'm trying to figure out a good way to kind of like keep that down. And I almost feel like it's an alley concern to do that in Oak Street. So I want to make that look nice over there so that people want to come and hang out and paint and do whatever. But other alleys as well. Like my alley, I have a weird whole story. But instead of that, Oak Street Alley Mural Fest. Yes, the March 14th. I'm really excited. I have some flyers here. I give you guys some. There's a bunch more at my house if you want more of them. It's kind of small print, but I also don't want to give everybody 4x6 cards, you know. I don't know if you guys want those, but I'm pretty happy about it. Yeah, thank you. And we have a full lineup of music. Scorpion versus Tarantula. It's like some pretty fun female-led AC/DC-ish rock band. That's kind of awesome, right? And some local Beaver Creek just played home tour. They're playing there. Popular Stars, Neighbors, and then a bunch of other friends. And then, if you don't know, we do this. This is like the 5th or 6th year, and where Oak is bracketed by 14th and 15th Street. It's an alley. All the houses somehow back up to it, so it's got lots of cinder block walls there. And it's been this ongoing project in the neighborhood where a neighbor was like, yo, could you cover these tags with murals? And it just kept blossoming, and I had a friend do a mural fest, and then I started helping out and taking over, and now it's covered, so we do sort of paint over some old ones and try to spread it out as well. So we are still looking for more wall space. Proximity is kind of crucial, right? The closer you are to Oak, on Oak, and between 14th and 15th, or not just between them, but like near 14th and 15th Street, it's ideal. we could use help, well, that's so good, cleaning up, man, that's like a big thing for the morning for us. It's a neighborhood, event, and our other neighbor Brad brings the stage out. We have a lot of friends that bring the sound system, so we have like 11 featured artists that we pay to be there. The CNA helps us do that. And then we have about 20 or 30 other artists that are set up to paint there. Probably only another 10 or 15 in that alley, and then we have another spot at 14th and Windsor, and then I'm trying to get a couple other locations down Oak, and ideally we get more, you know. But there's a few other spots nearby that we can paint still. Anyways, that's the idea. We will block the street for the day from like 10 to 8. And yeah, I don't know, big old fun mural fest. A lot of people painting. We got 2 food vendors, at least. McAlpines will be down there as well. A lot of art vendors. And
TMI?
say again?
TMI?
Yeah, TMI sponsored. They're not going to be out there, but they've sponsored the event. And I don't know. I think that's the gist of it. Try to get, huh?
Once in a while, I'll see Ron
Oh,
stomping around.
yeah. Hopefully Ron should be out there too. I would think. Yeah. I think that's the gist of it. Yeah, it should be a good time. I try to invite anybody from the neighborhood to come on out. Hopefully the Phoenix Youth Circus Arts can make it out and get more interactive vendors as well, and just try to have a good old time in the alley. And we also blocked it for Sunday. I was trying to do an alternative thing there. I don't know. People got hyped about panel discussions and all that, but I haven't gotten anyone on board with it. And then we'll also kind of hang around Bill and Jenny's house the next day and probably just kind of like come check out all the new art or whatever. But the street's blocked as well, so it's open for like carts and skateboards and bikes and such. Ta-da, that's the gist of it. Is there any concerns or questions about it?
No, it was a blast last year.
Thanks, yeah, I think it's gonna hit 90. I've been watching all the apps and I'm really trying to get it down, so if you guys could collectively just try to pull that down to like 84. That would be great, 'cause it's gonna be nice today, this weekend, and I don't know, it just gets warm out there. Umbrellas, I was thinking, we'll have tents. It'd be nice to borrow the double pop-up tent, if I could, yeah.
Why not?
Sweet, alright. Yeah, so as much shade as possible, and then, I don't know, ideally just kind of come out. We invite y'all out to come out and be present, participate, talk to people, meet somebody new, get excited, I don't know, whatever you want.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay.
No, because we actually haven't talked about it because we haven't had our board meeting yet, but if the CNA can have a booth, because if we want to sell like some t-shirts
Oh,
and
nice.
stuff.
I think that's about it, though, yeah? Sounds about right?
Yep.
Thank you.
Sure, yeah.
Thanks, Joey.
y'all.
So this is one of our favorite annual events, and it's truly put on by neighbors and for neighbors, which is great. Then we also, Clara, I believe we have a food truck Friday coming up the end of the month?
Yes, pending permit,
Okay.
but
Oh, right.
fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be an issue, so yes, we should.
Okay, sounds good. But these have all been really fun over the course of the year. We didn't end up doing one in February because it's just like right after home tour, and our board is like exhausted after that. So we wanted to make sure we had a break from coordinating that. And then also, as Claire mentioned, the park permits for these.
At Oval Park?
Yeah, the other one was a pretty well-attended event. So the Parks Department did ask us to formally make it an event moving forward.
Oh, yeah.
So we're just trying to navigate that, but, I mean, I'm open to feedback, but Oval Park seems to be a good location. It's central. A lot of people can walk there or bike there, which is always nice.
And it's a big old park.
It's a big park. Yeah.
That's cool.
The other event we have coming up, this is on April 25th in the evening. This will be our third annual Loteria de Coronado. So if you haven't played before, it's similar to bingo, but with these cards, we actually custom designed these. And we ask that neighbors, so instead of numbers, each one of them is kind of like an item or like a notable gem, like a place or things that you'll see in Coronado often. And then we ask artists to submit just a small design, and then we feature those on all of these cards. And then we also have an MC or a cantor who calls out the cards similar to how you would with bingo. And he's actually really fun, super engaging. He creates rhymes for every single one of them. He writes the rhymes himself all the time. And then we also have a DJ playing tunes all night. And both of them actually run the Loteria event at the Desert Botanical Garden. So we were able to recruit them from the Botanical Garden, and they are always happy to come into our neighborhood. There's also, so they usually play, I want to say about 8 rounds of the game throughout the evening. You can come and join in pretty much at any time. And then in between, like for each round, they have a tiebreaker with the bolero, like the, it's like the wooden stick with the string, and then the heavy cup. You're trying to swing, like catch on the stick. And we have prizes. We actually have some donated prizes this year. I think we have some Young Bucks tickets and some things like that. So we actually have really like upped our game with prizes, and then we'll have gift cards. Like last year, we've had TMI gift card, we have Dark Hall gift card, we've had Jungle Box gift card, for example. So it's a fun, free night. We'll have a food truck there. And then I need to double check our budget, but I think we're also giving our artists each like a little Visa gift card for their contribution this time. We want to make sure that we are paying them something. But we'll just double check that. And then we also have sponsorships available for just $100. And what that gets, we have up to 15 spots for sponsors. And then their logo or whatever design they want on there, they can even ask if, put it out there for one of the volunteer artists to design. So for example, for the main ingredient, they usually have Choco design a piece of art that represents the main ingredient, and then they would be on like 35 out of the 150 cards. Their name gets called out very often because of how often, we're playing and the card gets drawn. So it's a lot of verbal acknowledgement and just probably one of the best ways you could spend $100 for sponsorships. So, and it's just a fun time. And then we have our guest speakers. So Patricia, if you want to go first. And then we have a full half hour left. So between you and Angel, if that works. Cool. And then I would recommend staying over here.
No, it's all you.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, still cold, somebody must want it.
Oh.
Well, good evening, thank you for having me here. My name is Patricia Jimenez. I've been in this community, I love your neighborhood, by the way. I also live on 16th Street in Brill. When I was a little girl, we moved around. So I call District 4 my home. The reason that I call my home because I've been here for more than 40 years. I own my house, I live in Maryville, I own my house for 33 years. My kids grew up there, now they're big and, doing their own little thing. But I done community service for more than 22 years. And that's the reason that I'm running for city council. Being a school board member at the Isaac School District, which I see one of our students went to Isaac, I also went to Isaac myself, and I'm proud of seeing students that they go to high school and college. And that's the reason people always ask me, why are you still on the board? Well, I truly care about my community, the students, the education. Public education right now is really tough right now. And I want to continue moving our district forward and serving. I truly believe that being in my community, being the streets, being the community, I have seen District 4 grow. I have seen, the good, the bad, and I want to continue doing that right now. I focus on 3 things. I want to continue public safety. I think it's very important that we continue doing that. There's so much diversity in District 4, and that's why I'm coming and meeting to see every neighbor has different needs. I know where I live in Maryville, it's one of the toughest areas and one of our toughest that we're facing right now, as you know, is 27th Avenue and Indian School. And right now, something that we're facing right now, and I'm helping my community is, I'm for light rail, but right now the light rail was approved by City Council 7-2 to move it to Indian School. There's over 200 businesses owners there that are going to be hurt. It's a vote that they passed, but having it at the Capitol and having it at the I-10 just made more sense for our community because we do want it in our area. I want to also continue supporting our officers. You know, we're very short in officers. Myself, when I have to call on officers for loud music, they take forever, and I know there's priorities. But I think that we need to continue focusing in that area. You know, we need to have safer streets where we walk. That, like I said, your community is beautiful. You come and you walk, and there's certain areas that we need to focus on that. And we could do that. We could ride our bikes. We have icons. Those are the things that I want, one of my focuses. The other one is affordable housing. Under my leadership, and I know Laura Pastor, her focus was to have as many affordable housing that she can before she leaves her term. You know, this is her last term. There's 8 candidates running. And we were the first district to have affordable housing, partnering with the city of Phoenix, and also, I don't know if you guys are familiar with 31st Avenue in McDowell. That's the first affordable housing that we have. And also we're doing our second one on 43rd Avenue. Right now with rents being so high, I think that's something that we need to continue doing in District 4, but also protecting our historic neighborhoods. I grew up as a child by Encano Park, going to Encano Park. That area is beautiful, you know, Willow, Coronado, and we need to continue maintaining that. That's something that I don't agree with big developers to come in and just destroy that. It's history, it's our history. So I want to continue maintaining that. The other thing that I have is, you know, just our community being cleaner. I love what you're doing. I've been meeting with different neighborhoods and also Blackwalks Association. We have so many of them. And I think it's great that everybody's doing something to make sure that it's safer, that it's cleaner. What I want to do, and I don't know if this is done now, you know, I see the ideas that you guys have. I mean, what you're doing is so great, Loteria. I'm like, wow, you know, I think that's awesome how you get the community together. I think if we also continue having our leaders like yourself and getting together and sharing those ideas and how can we all help each other. Certain areas that need that, you know, and certain areas that are doing this. I truly believe in community engagement. I believe in listening to the community and just being there and making sure. I'm all about delivery. I'm all about results. And if I don't know the answer, I'm gonna make sure that I get the answer. But there's never a dumb question. There's never, in my experience, you know, there's always a way. There's always a way of doing things. It's just always getting the people involved and always making sure that everybody has a voice. I truly believe in my experience as a leader that you cannot make a decision if we don't know your voice. And so that's very important, very important. But the main reason, like I said, that I'm running, I am the community. I've seen this district grow, and it's growing tremendously. And the city of Phoenix is beautiful. I asked, why did you move to Coronado? I mean, the heat. I think the heat is I love the heat. Not the heat. But I also have, you know, children. I'm a grandma, and I'm one of my second grandchild. And my kids always ask me, Mom, why are you going into this? Or, you know, why are you doing this? If we're not here to serve others, why are we here? So that's why I'm serving. I'm not a politician. My campaign is totally on grassroots. I'm not neither left nor right. I'm all about doing the right thing. I'm all about listening, and that's who I am, Patricia Jimenez. Do we have tough times? Yes, we do. Have I had tough times? Yes, I have. But a true leader doesn't shy away from problems. We find solutions, and that's who I am. So I want to thank you for having me here. I want to attend your event and what you're doing in the alleys. Like I said, those are things that we need to share ideas and do that throughout District 4. Because I know that not all of them have that, but I think it's awesome what you're doing. So I commend you for that. So if you have any questions, let me know. Like there's my website. Excuse me, you could always reach out to me. Yeah, sure.
The 8 different people trying to replace Laura Pastor going for the position.
She's termed out.
Right.
Yeah, it's an open seat. You'll be hearing from a lot of us. Yeah, it's an open seat.
Was that the guy that was at the Ethiopian restaurant? Is that what he was running for too?
Yes.
Yep, and then we have Ed scheduled for next month.
So, I'm just curious about protect longtime residents from displacement.
That's another word for gentrification, right? And I don't, it's like it's a force of nature almost when prices start going up. What can you do? Are there policies that can actually change that or affect that?
Well, it's something that we could definitely look into. I truly believe there's no is not always the answer. And through my experience, there's always ways to do research to look into it. I know that, it all comes down to policy, it comes down to, who's running our country. It's just so many different factors. But I know, here with the Laura Pastor's representatives, each district gets a certain budgets, and it just, being in that position and just kind of working together to find those solutions. I truly believe that that's something that we could definitely continue working on.
Blight.
Blight.
Blight can keep the property value.
Oh.
That's your policy. That's your policy proposal.
Well, that the market, nowadays, the way things are, it's just hard to, there's certain things that it's just so hard to control. But we just working together and having our voices, that's the things that we have to continue moving forward and just being united, I think that's, we're all one community, so.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Great idea.
Yeah.
There's some community organizations that have the
That's usually.
videos. I'm like, in North Park Central, we don't have that. So I'm gonna have to ask them to get on the ball. I'm just gonna pass, just so you have a little bit. If you want one, I can definitely do that.
This one's, I had to look this up.
Oh.
Sounds like you guys like to campaign a lot.
I
You guys
randomly
got
ran
to
into
meet a bunch
this
of
like 2
people all the
days
time, huh?
ago, so it kind of,
Sounds like a lot for
What's that?
council district, huh?
it's the entity that oversees
Crazy.
valley-wide health and systems.
Kind of exciting, though. Congrats on running.
That board.
When's the election? Is it this November?
Federal dollars that flow through it, so I think it's just oversight of. I'm sure he's gonna tell us.
And if
this,
any who's
'cause
the top ones.
I'm gonna ask a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Oh, after. Oh, that's right, nonpartisan.
I was just trying to hire an attorney to do reviews
Oh, really?
of
So it's not
things
Democrat
that
or
he
Republican?
Because he was attorney for this.
But do people normally say what they are?
Really random.
Did you say?
No.
Are you Democrat or Republican?
I'm not even-
Uh,
But when I left the zone.
That's the right, that's the right
I
answer.
promise I'm not getting a 2-hour lecture.
Yeah.
You're in Laura Pastor's office? Yeah, I think it's,
I just
what did I
want
ask
to get
about?
this stuff.
Oh, I think it's
Appreciate it.
Because I just want to do that. And like what you're doing,
Yes.
I'm gonna go on
I know.
that.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Yes, fabulous, and that's why I didn't even, I was going to go and ask questions at the meeting, but like, the way that they were answered, I was like, this is perfect.
Oh, okay.
So like, people are,
For sure. Totally in the
y'all in your office are stellar, so it's really great to be able to like have Laura and her staff and you for.
Oh, yeah.
When they
Yeah.
have 8 candidates, it's the only thing that makes sense.
Vote for like second, third, and fourth, you know?
Move on to the next thing.
I'm gonna do that too.
Somebody's actually doing something right in the community, and I need to do something else. No, you're good. So hello, everyone. My name is Angel Algarin, and I'm an assistant professor over at the Edson College of Nursing and Health Innovation. I'm sure, hopefully you've seen a lot of our stuff that's come up at ASU Health. We're getting our medical school, which is so exciting. The Edson College is going to be a part of that. But I'm not really here to talk about that today. I'm talking a little bit about my candidacy for the Special Healthcare District Board in County District 3. So I know we talked about City District 4, which is confusing because we're also all in County District 3. But I'm a faculty member at Edson and trained in public health. In my hobbies, I play with the Phoenix Storm. I play rugby Before this, I had a lot of other community meetings where I was showing up with a broken finger. And so I was like, wasn't the spitting image of health to talk about the healthcare board, right? But this is actually me in Coronado Park playing some rugby. I was like, that's so exciting because I was gonna go after, because we have our practices on Tuesday and Thursday evenings. And I also play kickball with the Out Loud Sports League. So I'd just like to show a little bit about who I am first. I'm in the North Park Central community, which is right on 7th Avenue in Indian School. But yeah, so what is Valleywise Health? So it's the public teaching hospital and healthcare system for Maricopa County. They really are focused on our uninsured, underinsured, and those who need specialty care. And they've been consistently rated nationwide as for their quality, safety, and their teaching excellence. But why am I talking about Valleywise when we're talking about the County Special Healthcare District Board, right? Well, the Board of Directors for Valleywise is also known as the Board of Directors, for the County Special Healthcare District Board. It's a public healthcare district created under Arizona law that ensures access to healthcare for county residents. It has 5 members, 1 for each county supervisor district, and it's elected by the voters every 4 years. The board set policies that provide oversight while the day-to-day operations are handled by Valleywise leadership. And so why does this matter? Is that the decisions that affect access to care and medical training come from this board. So their core responsibilities are really on approving major contracts, overseeing financial health, hiring and evaluating CEO, CFO, the higher level positions, and ensuring legal and ethical compliance. So they do have some transparency, though it's I will say it's kind of hard to find, just like I feel like how every other public meeting can kind of be. But they meet every 4th Wednesday. They do have calls to the public, and the materials and agendas are posted publicly. And the access is there. I have some links in there, so if you want to share, you definitely can with other folks. So how many folks are familiar with Proposition 409?
Is that what we passed in November?
That's exactly right. Yeah, okay. So it was a voter-approved measure to increase funding for Valleywise Health. The large reason why it passed with voters is because we've seen aging infrastructure, growing county population, and need to expand and modernize care. It will hopefully support facility improvements, expanded services, and long-term sustainability for public healthcare systems. So the board's role is oversight, ensuring funds are used as promised to voters, and why I'm really excited to be running to ensure that there is accountability in the way that we're spending. This is a little bit about the elections. They go up for election in 2026. I'm trying to gather signatures by the signature deadline. There's no primary, so it is just for the general. And yeah, a little bit about how the community can engage with the Public Healthcare District Board. I have my contact information on the next slide. I've kept it a bit non-candidate because a lot of the other meetings that I've had, some of them, they like to have candidates talk a little bit more about themselves. Some of them, they like to be a little bit more even-keeled or just more about education. So I'm happy to answer any questions. A lot of my platform is actually on the sheets right there. One of the big things that I think makes me a really great candidate, actually 2, is 1, the public health focus lens. I think if we prevent and use community prevention in our communities and deter folks by preventing conditions from spiraling out of control and folks going to emergency departments, that's one way to save time of our healthcare providers and some of these conditions that we could have prevented into being something that's financially just more expensive than what we thought it would be. And then lastly, in being a part of Edson College of Nursing and Health Innovation, really promoting education, I see the value of leveraging Valleywise's position as an educational hospital and ensuring that we're seeing students and our next generation of healthcare providers being trained in Valleywise. And so as ASU Health starts to develop, how are we getting our next generation of medical care providers, how are we getting our nurses, how are we getting social workers, how are we getting pretty much every position that we see and Valley-wise, getting trained by people who are doing it every day, day in and day out. So that's what I think. Yes.
So if you were elected, these referendums that we passed in November, those don't come up every year. That was like a long-term plan. So what did you think of that plan?
Yeah, so I thought in general that the plan is, we need the money for.
But where they're allocating it and everything seemed more or less aligned with your.
Yeah, so one of the big things was for behavioral health, and we do see a large need for behavioral health, and so that's why I also want to ensure that the money is being spent in the way that voters intended. I do think that some of the infrastructure as well needs to be replaced. I think that the nuances of where funding is going is a topic that would probably need to be fleshed out. Are we going to be spending X amount of dollars on maybe a new technology that just can see maybe 4 or 5 patients, but it puts us to have this like new technology versus, hey, we do have this tried and proven technology that the difference in being able to see the specificity of, yes, you have a cancer diagnosis, or no, you don't have a cancer diagnosis, but we can see more patients by the tried and true. I think that's when we need to make the decision of, hey, we can see more patients with this tried and true method, and maybe at this time the technology, the advanced technology is not for us. And I think that those are the nuances that I would hope to be able to have a little bit of play with on that board. But yes, I did agree with I voted yes actually for that, because I do see the need. And I think we all see the growing population here in Maricopa County, not only in just the downtown central area, but in the way it's expanded past our downtown area into surrounding Maricopa. And yeah, so I hope that answered your question. Yes.
Are there other people running against you for District 3?
So as of right now, no. Your current county board, county healthcare district board. I'm like, am I running for the board of directors for Valley West? Am I running for this? So it's a mouthful, let me tell you. But the current one, her name is Barbara Mundell. Her husband was previously in the House. I think he's run for Commerce. She's was an attorney and actually a judge in Arizona. So it's unclear whether she's going to be running, but she has not filed her position statement.
She's eligible to run again.
Yes.
But you don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, so she was actually appointed in 2025 because the person that was before her was for some reason no longer able to continue their position, and so the board appointed her as
You need signatures to be able to do this?
Yes.
How many do you
250.
need? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I brought my clipboard. So,
Do you have a head start on them already too?
yes,
Okay,
so I'm more than halfway through.
Right on.
Is it this, so I'm assuming it's the same boundaries as Supervisor District 3?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. So McGee's.
Rose McGee,
Yes.
yeah.
Her boundary. Any other questions? Yes, there is. So in
What's that?
Proposition 409, that was actually a big, so I know I mentioned behavioral health, but ER beds was the other big push for Proposition 409. And so that's my big thing is I feel like it's important to be accountable to voters. So even if there were things which I didn't see any things that were wrong with 409, what they have in there was very basic, but when you get into the nitty gritty, that's when I feel like you can have some disagreements about like, well, we said behavioral health, but I want this and I want that. But one of the things was,
Adult and peds separate.
I'm not sure that adult and peds, they said were separate in there, but it's something that I would definitely be interested to talk to you about, because I can see that peds need to have particular care over, adults and peds for emergency purposes. So,
Pets,
Yeah.
kids?
Pediatric.
Right?
Don't use that medical jargon.
Babies.
So I guess I'm a little confused because Valleywise is an organization, I'm assuming they had a board of directors that also oversees them. So like, I think in my head, what I'm trying to determine, like, where is your purview as this medical board versus, say, for example, the board of directors of Valleywise that has this special designation? Does that,
Yes, no.
Thanks.
So like, totally understand the confusion because I didn't even know you could run for this until I was like sparked on, you know, I want to run for something in my community. I'm not a career politician. And I was like, my experience in public health and also my interest in starting to take a step into politics, I feel like this was aligned with what I want to do.
sure.
And so you're right, they do have like a board, they have their CEO, they have their CFO, they all sort of make the business decisions, whereas the county board, special healthcare district board, they are basically the supervisors of the decisions that are being made. So they have to answer to the county's special healthcare district board for every decision that they make. So let's say they make a decision and the special healthcare district board says, you know, that wasn't okay, like, we need to set a policy that's not okay and we need to roll that back. So they have to answer to the special healthcare district board.
So the board makes a decision, then they have to then find another level of approval from this county
Sounds
medical.
efficient.
So I'm just, I mean, yeah.
On the board of directors. But
So-
it hasn't been submitted.
Yeah, so the valley is, yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to, I'm not trying to confuse you.
No, you're totally fine. So this is basically,
Yeah, it's one in the
Are they
same.
one and the same?
They're the same thing.
yeah, so this is the board of
Oh.
directors of
Valleywise is
Valleywise.
publicly
But,
funded.
Thank you.
yes, but
That's
they
why I'm-
have, they still have a CEO, they still have a CFO, they still have
So
all
it
of
is the-
that.
It is
But
the
they
board,
see
yeah.
the
Okay, thank you.
overall business operations.
I got
and
it.
We kind of see the overall like supervision of making sure everything is above board.
Okay, thank you.
What about the connection between this board and the board of supervisors of the county?
So that is a little bit separated actually.
Of
So they don't, yeah, they
Thank you.
Same voting district.
yeah, you just have the same exactly.
Because most.
So the county board doesn't have any specific oversight over the
Of
healthcare
Valleywise.
district?
Correct.
Okay.
But they can appoint if there's a vacancy.
I think that they can appoint a nominee, but the approval is actually made by the special healthcare district board. So the approvals of the special healthcare district board are by the remaining members.
These little nuances.
I love all the questions, you know, like, and there are still things that I will be honest with you, I'm still learning about it. But I just think that having good people and people that are focused on public health and our healthcare within the valley are important to have as a representative on this board. So, thank you, really appreciate it.
That is all the content that we have, but if you have questions for kind of an open forum situation, I just give up on the slides. Just as open forum anyway, so. Any questions about things that the CNA is doing, ways that we can help the neighborhood?
I just wanted to say, is the other alley
Yeah,
in
we
the
did.
neighborhood? We were really busy for a while, and we set up tables and chairs and had wine after two, and the very garden stuff.
They got to record the whole thing. Are you recording? Are you
In our
or-
I was asking about the home tour. I wasn't here early enough to hear how it went.
Financial. One note I made for
It's a little bit
next
less
year
than
was just
last
to
year,
have
but we
more
also didn't
sandbags
get
available.
much
This
media
definitely,
promotion,
was a problem
so.
that morning. So we
Joey's
can help.
lucky coming 90 degrees and not blow away.
But I actually didn't realize that you were setting up a tent or anything over there, so next year we'll, you know what, I haven't been over there because I'm usually at the street fair.
Are you busy?
Definitely, yes. So I will definitely be checking that out next time. But also if there's ways that we can support you in doing that during future home
We're
years.
good at 5
Alright. Any other questions, thoughts, ideas, praise? Get that too?
Home tour is pretty good. I think home tour is pretty think it's kind of a good time. A lot of vendors there. Parade was good. The houses. It's fun. It's a cool event.
And it's so much work from our group here, so thank you to everyone. Thank you, Ian, this community really comes together for this event. It makes me so happy.
And none of y'all burn out and are leaving this year? You guys are on board still for the next year?
But no,
Okay.
But I imagine there will be maybe one or two roll off, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know, yeah.
Suspense.
Are the,
Oh, go ahead.
are the meetings gonna be here all the time now, or is it, where are they gonna be next?
we're working on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So apparently I'm the only one that can't get here at 6:30, so, but.
So if this doesn't work.
Well, I was just wondering how
we were
everybody
just
felt about
trying it out, so if it doesn't work, we can go back to that. I think part of it was we end up, like, the board ends up being out till like 8:30 or 9, like with cleanup and chatting and stuff. So we were just trying to get some of our people home a little earlier to their families, but at the same
Is
time.
there anybody from Trellis there?
Is there what?
Is there anybody from Trellis there?
Oh, yeah.
We did, we showed the video.
Your video.
We showed the video.
Oh, you did show it? Oh.
Say like Canada's.
I haven't checked, I've been very busy all day.
Truly, like we have to.
No. 3 minutes.
I know.
Oh, you missed it?
Unfortunate. I would have actually said something else to that.
I did the email very quickly too, because I didn't know.
Yeah, no, it's just a typo, but then I just thought, I'd really rather not show a 23-minute video.
So, I have a kind of a off-the-cuff question. Has the Coronado Neighborhood Association done any form of good neighbor agreements with any, like, apartment complexes in the area or anything to that effect?
We've been trying to reach out to, if you have any, do you have any contact information for anyone?
Yes.
We have not successfully connected with anyone. We were trying to like get them to like come to these sessions and engage in other ways,
I
but
have the Oak Alley property manager information sent it to you.
So I've been working with the apartment complex just south of here specifically. That's why I was asking, and one of my asks specifically is going to be doing a good neighbor agreement. And traditionally, apparently, neighborhood associations sign on to those things.
How's that work?
What is it? Yeah.
So the general concept is that, like, the apartment complex just south of here is Native American Connections, Stepping Stones. It's an affordable housing complex that serves people who were formerly homeless with a Native American priority, more or less. So a lot of those complexes will do an agreement with the neighborhood about, we're going to do this, we're not going to do this, we're gonna, basically, it's kind of like a list of agreements as to what they're gonna do. Part of what happens in my neighborhood right now is that there are people camping in front of this property pretty much every night. And I'm finding that most of the people who are camping there actually know residents at the apartment complex. And so I'm trying to work with them to kind of establish a process so that we're not only just, trespassing them, but then services are also being offered, but also staying there long-term is not really a solution. So it's kind of working with them to set some rules and terms as to what we can expect from them as a neighborhood, because last summer we had a fire in the alley. It turned into a huge problem, and it just kind of like went to down along the freeway. There was encampments basically all summer long. It's just been, and the trash that comes along with that, I just can't even communicate. And so I think that's why I was asking, because I think I want to try to start implementing that. I have a couple of drafts of like these good neighbor agreements, but if it's something that you are willing all to do, then I would be interested in kind of.
I'd like to take a look at it. I've never known us to do one before, but that doesn't mean.
Okay.
and are you talking to Frank about it too from the NSD? And yeah, let's connect
I've
on it.
I've not talked to Frank from NSD, so I've actually reached out to, I happen to know professionally the Chief Development Officer at Native American Connections, so
Oh, nice.
I kind of just made that connection on a professional level, and I'm working with their head of property management now. But I think I'm gonna proceed with like a good neighbor agreement, just because right now in like the world that I work in, a good neighbor agreement is kind of like a precursor to pretty much anything, so it's like a pretty easy ask in my opinion. So anyways, there's just something,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
Oh, can I?
So,
Please.
Sorry, we have a new recruiting specialist actually now, we finally
Oh,
moved
really?
forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Exciting.
finally. His name is Patrick McDaniel, you may know him from Phoenix Community Alliance. He's now our neighborhood specialist, he just started on Monday.
Oh,
Oh, wow,
that's exciting.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah, so we'll get him out here and introducing himself soon.
great. I love that.
Yeah.
so the signers of such an agreement would be maybe the neighborhood association, the management of the apartment complex, and
So in the examples I've seen, it's been surrounding neighborhood association, like presidents primarily is what I've seen.
Uh-huh.
I've not seen City of Phoenix Neighborhood Services sign on to that kind of stuff. That's not something they normally, no offense, but get involved with. But I mean, they facilitate, but they don't sign. So it's
Yeah.
typically, if there's like, we could consider whether or not the
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 Miracle Mile merchant,
would
yeah.
be willing to sign on as well. Any organization that's kind of like a community organization in the area, so if we need to go south of the freeway and we wanna talk to them as well, that might be something to consider as well. Yeah,
Is there, I mean, to me, in an agreement, you have both sides agreeing towards action or lack, or removal of action, right? So is
Yeah.
there something that we're signing on to?
Yeah. Or
I'll
other
get you some
things
draft language.
That would be good,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's moldable and mendable, it's just, I have one from, Cass Shelter did like a neighborhood agreement with in one of their settings, and so I have one of those as kind of like a draft version of that, so.
Love to take a look.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for working on that.
Yeah, and I sent you the Miracle Mile Merchants meeting.
Did
That's
you
a
send
lot
that
of
to me?
M's, yes,
Yeah.
over email. They're
Okay.
gonna have one at the end of the month, sorry.
Thank you so much, we appreciate it.
Anything else? All right, well, thank you.
Yay.
Please eat our snacks. Yeah.
please.
Please eat our snacks. There's also drinks in the cooler there.